G'day guys and welcome to Primal Waters. Today we're going to be talking about Submarine, the legendary mega great white shark that was sighted off of South Africa. Now this goes in line with the video I did yesterday about the black demon. So now we're going to take a look at Submarine and have a bit of a discussion about this shark as well. I'm just going to read this article from Seeker. Right, so Submarine, any truth to the legend? Did the legendary submarine great white shark actually exist? Experts say it is possible, but they have a different fish tale to tell. This is by Gene Vegas. The submarine, an enormous and mythical great white shark that supposedly terrorized South Africans 30 to 44 years ago, might have actually existed, suggests experts who offer a logical explanation for some of the extraordinary witness accounts. Said to be anywhere from 22 to 30 feet long, submarine was reported to be in False Bay, South Africa, according to marine biologist Alison Towner of the nearby Dyer Island Conservation Trust. The region is still famous for its large great whites and other sharks, but we do know now, since 2017, the great white population is starting to decline due to a family of orcas that are preying on them at the moment. And I'll continue on. During the 1970s to the early 1990s, various anglers fished from small vessels and reported sightings of huge white sharks in False Bay. Towner told Discovery News, adding that some of these individuals later turned to trophy fishing for sharks before great whites gained protected status in South Africa in 1991. So that's interesting. I didn't know that when they became protected in 1991. So in Australia, great whites wasn't until 96 or 97, I think. They were protected here in Australia. A few of the submarine seekers penned popular books such as Theo Ferreira's Sharkman, my obsession with the great white, which helped further fuel the legend. Now, I haven't read that book. That'll be something interesting to pick up and have a read, actually. So, with caution, of the actual size of the submarine shark, as is actually very difficult to estimate the size of a great white when it is in the water, especially when fighting it on a rod and reel, as was the case in many accounts of submarine. Now, there was a study done here in South Australia last year down at Neptune Island, just out from Port Lincoln. They had these guys with a measuring laser, and what they did is they went out on, I think it was Calypso Star, the cage diving mob, went out with them and got them to estimate the size of the sharks they witnessed on that day. Then what they did is measured the sharks using the pretty accurate laser measuring device. And what they found was that most of the guys were actually, with the smaller sharks, were actually over estimating their size. And what they also found with the larger sharks is that they were actually underestimating the size. So, when you hear a story when someone's eyewitness account about how big a shark was, more than likely the shark might have been a little bit bigger than what the witnesses said. So that's quite interesting to read. Further, she continued, if one is standing on a boat, particularly a smaller boat, almost on level with the water, the shark can appear to be much bigger than, for example, if the person is standing on a larger elevated vessel. Now, can you remember that picture I showed you on my Facebook page, probably in the last week or so, of two really big great whites off the coastline in New South Wales or Australia? One of those pictures, the shark, man, the girth on it was huge. It probably would have been about 18, 19, maybe 20 feet. But the girth of it was massive. Like, there's some big sharks out there. If you haven't seen those pictures, please go to my Facebook page, or if you go on YouTube into the community part, I've posted those pictures up on there, so go check them out. So that's just on the homepage of YouTube. Go up and where it says community, click on there, and you'll just scroll down and you'll see those pictures. Go check them out because one of the sharks is massive. She and Neil Hammer, I'm not even going to pronounce that last name, a shark expert who has studied great whites in South Africa waters, told Discovery News that the maximum length great whites can attain is around 20 feet long, from snout to upper caudal to the end of the tip of the tail. Researchers assist Professor in the Department of Marine Ecosystem and Society at the University of Miami added that there is no truth to reports of great whites reaching 30 feet in length or more. Yeah, because you haven't seen them yet. There's heaps of eyewitness accounts dating back freaking ages of massive white sharks up to about 30 feet. John, chair of the Aquatic Biology of California Academy of Science, said that a shark caught in the waters of Cuba in 1945 supposedly was 21 feet long. It was never accurately weighed or measured, although they saw the tooth removed from the shark's jaw, and he said it could have come from a 21-footer as described. Everyone knows about the Malta shark in 1987. There's also another shark here in South Australia in 1987 called Kanga, codenamed Kanga, which I've talked about, and you can find those stories on my YouTube channel. The shark was so big, they had to cut it to just get the head on board. And if you see the pictures, this is a big shark. That wouldn't surprise me if this was maybe a 7-meter shark. And they mention it here. Yeah, another great white found near Kangaroo Island in South Australia was around 22 feet long, but only its head and pectoral fin were saved. He has seen white sharks are at least 18 feet long off Dangerous Reef, South Africa. Dangerous Reef in South Africa. We have a Dangerous Reef here in South Australia as well. Located north of Neptune Island. He doubts that a great white could grow much larger than those sizes or weigh more than 3 to 4 tons. The problem becomes one of maneuverability. He explained a shark that large has great difficulty capturing live prey and would have to survive by eating large mammal carcasses. Well, there's plenty out there. I think big sharks like that would probably have to be scavengers. I've read articles saying that the Meg was more than likely a scavenging shark just feeding off the whales. Another large carnivore dinosaur was the T-Rex. There was a lot of people saying that T-Rex was just a scavenger. So the largest sharks, such as basking sharks and whale sharks, tend to be more gentle and passive filter feeders, while sharks can grow up to around 41 feet long. When sharks become as large as that, they can only survive by filter feeding, like the great whales, which are the largest mammals on Earth. Filter feeders target tiny creatures such as zooplankton, which is plentiful, low on the food chain and require minimal effort to obtain. The submarine was therefore probably a very large great white, but not as big as it was rumoured to be. Also reminds that white sharks are slow growing, so big individuals tend to be approximately big individuals tend to be old. The exciting submarine accounts of the legends lose some of their thunder when one considers that fishermen likely would have been fighting elderly sharks close to kicking the proverbial bucket. She also warns, if we jump to conclusions that there's plenty of huge ones, great whites out there, it may be a misleading and damaging reputation of the real situation. Remember, 100 million sharks are killed annually by humans. So there you go. Apologies for my reading once again, but like the article says, that if you they actually come across one of these real big sharks, it's an old shark, fairly old shark, and I think the problem is these days the reason why we don't see as many. Well, the big sharks are out there. The big 25, possible 30 footers are out there, but their numbers are really, really small. So the chances of seeing these really big sharks is, you just got to be lucky to see one. And the reason for that, up to, what's it say, 91 or something in South Africa, and then 97 in Australia, is when great whites became protected. You can't fish for them. So all those sharks back then never got the chance to, I'm talking about all those big sharks that got caught before 97, 91, before they become protected, never got the chance to actually grow to their big size, to their 25, 30 foot, because they were all caught prior to that. But now, since great whites are protected, there's a big chance that in the future these big sharks are going to be sighted out there. Maybe 10 to 20 years' time, these sharks, big 25 footers, will be seen out there. It's just at the moment, great whites, prior to being protected, never got a chance to get to their full size or live to their expected age limit of, was it 60 for female great whites and 40 for males. So, I think in the future, these big sharks, hopefully great whites don't become extinct. Hopefully their numbers improve. But maybe the next 10 or so years, there'll be more of these big sharks out there. These real big old sharks. It'd be good, because I would love to see if we can see really large great whites out there, big great whites, then we know these guys are living to their full age, and that's a good thing. So now with submarine, I no doubt believe submarine existed, but what is it? It's been a while now since the last sighting of the shark, so she's probably not around anymore. The time that these fishermen would have seen her, she would have been old. Would have been a female too, guarantee it. Female, she would have been at least 60 years old, and she probably lived a long life, lived a full life. Be interesting to see deep blue. I'm not too sure if they've tried to work out how old deep blue is. Deep blue is just over 6 meters in length, so she'd be an old shark. No, she would be an old shark. You would think so. If she's not, she's going to get bigger then. But that'll be interesting. I wonder if they've got a tracker on her or something like that. Be interesting to see if what happens to deep blue, how big she can end up getting, if she can live her full life. But submarine, I believe submarine existed. I think submarine would have been a female great white. She would have been a fairly old one, but I don't think submarine's around today. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.